Humberto Fontova, author of Crazy on the Bayou, 5 seasons of Louisiana hunting, fishing, and feasting, and contributor to Louisiana Sportsman since February of 1989, baby. You know, people have said, Humberto, you know, man, how come you're not a trophy hunter? You know, how come you shoot these little deer that come by? How come you don't let them walk? Baby, if it comes by me and it's legal, it ain't walking. It's gonna walk into my crosshairs and it's gonna drop because this is my trophy. If it's legal and brown, it's down, baby. So now what we're gonna do is a legal doe, probably a year and a half, maybe 2.5 years old. And if you take the hindquarter, it'll split into like 3 different places. And this is one of them. And now what I like to do with these, no sausage, no roast. I make steaks and fajitas with that tender portion of the hindquarter. So now let's go into how we slice the hindquarter into the portions that will become bistec cubano, Cuban beef steaks and fajitas. Just like with the backstrap, you're going across the grain like this. And you're coming up with these gorgeous little steaks, baby. I mean, gorgeous little steaks. Folks, that is a trophy. Don't go, I am a trophy hunter. Here's my trophy. Another key to the process of making Cuban steaks and fajitas with the hindquarter of a deer is to pound it mercilessly. Beat it, beat it. If it gets cold, reheat it. Eat a banana, have the whole bunch. It doesn't matter what you had for lunch, just eat it. Maybe you all recall Weird Al Yankovic. Even though it's already fairly tender because of the cut that you have chosen, the pounding I have found is invaluable to this process. On both sides too. Get them down to about 1/2 inch. Get them skinny, because when we're cooking them, we're essentially going to be just basically almost flash frying. Not frying though, flash blackening of sorts. And we put them into a bowl and we start the marinating process. What I have found is that this Creole, it translates into Creole mojo. Mojo criollo. Cubans and Latin Americans, you find they call it mojito. You put mojito on it, mojito. Well, here's the mojito on venison. We've been marinating the Bambi steaks for about 2 hours. So we're gonna take them out in preparation for the, as I call it, flash blackening procedure. Because the important thing with Bambi is you wanna leave it rare, folks, rare. We need to compensate by leaving it rare so it'll be somewhat juicier. So what we'll do to facilitate the proper searing is pat them dry. Because when you try to sear them and try to blacken them and they're wet, you won't get that searing. You won't get that crunchy crust, which adds so much to the flavor. Typically at this point, you would want to use your favorite Cajun seasoning. But we'll do it this time is we'll sprinkle it with a combination of garlic powder and Cajun seasoning. And I like to pound it a little bit more now. A little bit more to get that seasoning into the meat, baby. Another thing I like to do at this point is use a little bit of teriyaki sauce. In my experience, this is not an Oreo meal, the teriyaki sauce greatly accentuates the flavor and actually even helps the searing process because of the dark, I guess probably because of the sugar content. And then you see what I do? I put them all on top of each other like this. So all the spices, oh yeah, baby. And we will leave them sitting here for about 5 or 10 minutes as we get the combination of almost equal parts butter and virgin olive oil smoking hot, ready for the Bambi meat, baby. As we get the frying mixture, the blackening mixture, the searing mixture going, and you'll note we'll use about half olive oil and half butter. It's starting to smoke, baby. We're smoking. So here we go. Holy moly, here we go. The searing process, the flash searing process has begun. And here goes. If you're doing it right, if you're smoking it hot, your fire alarm's gonna go off like it's doing here. That's why it's always best when you can to do it outside, folks. You wanna leave it pink on the inside. That's the issue here. That's the key issue here, amigos. Green pepper and onions, onions into the same pan in which we cooked the Bambi. Deglazing. Get them going there, get them browning good, but you want them to stay somewhat crispy, but you want to cook them for just a little bit. And it looks like the green peppers and the onions are just at about the right consistency, just about. So what we'll do now is we will further deglaze the pan with some white wine. If you use red wine, nobody's gonna hold it against you. It's still gonna be delicious. And we're gonna throw in a little bit of onion, lime, cilantro, and the famous Rotel tomatoes. Now, after the green peppers, onions, and Rotel tomatoes have cooked down a little bit, the wine is cooked off a little bit, we will put the luscious Bambi meat, render it into fajitas, back into it, and stir it up just so that the flavors can marry a bit. The flavors can marry just a little bit here. They're not cooking now, folks. And that's the important thing. You don't want them to cook further because you want them pink. You want them pink on the inside. That's the key to cooking Bambi trophies. There she is, baby. Trophy, baby. Trophy right here. This is a trophy better than anything you can put on your wall, baby.